Okay, the case is closed and Okello was sentenced to death. But I have some few questions to you, a Ugandan who's out there. Because I believe most of us who on social media, we just saw pictures and people were just saying, this man has killed 4 toddlers. None of us was on crime scene. We didn't see. We have read news that Okello killed 4 toddlers. None of us. As a Ugandan out there, were you convinced about the evidence that was presented in the courts of law? As Judge Alice said that according to the evidence that has been presented to me or in court, it's clear that Okello, you slaughtered these 4 toddlers. You as a Ugandan. Because most of us, we watched the court when it's going on. Were you convinced with that evidence that was brought? Why the judge didn't ask about videos? Why the judge didn't ask those people who were there? Why no one took video? At least a picture. When this guy is cutting the toddlers, at least picture. Why the judge didn't ask that? Why the judge didn't ask why this daycare was operating without a CCTV camera? Why she didn't ask that? Why the judge didn't ask why there was no book of record for the guests or parents? Why she didn't ask that? Why she didn't ask why the nearby cameras were off during the time of incident? Why? Why the judge didn't ask all that? But what evidence that really showed the judge that Okello killed these toddlers? What evidence? You as a Ugandan out there, were you convinced? Did they interrogated Okello if somebody sent him? Why the judge didn't ask all this? Why? Why Ugandans we don't want to open, to look into the box or to see what is behind that liver? Why Ugandans we like simple things? We clapped so much when they sentenced Okello to death. How these toddlers lost their lives. We don't want to know that side. But all in vain, Okello was sentenced to death. But why would Okello cut these toddlers on one side? On the right hand side? Why he had to do that? Why all these people wanted to end Okello? Why they didn't get any damage or any cut on their bodies? And no one hit Okello. Okello didn't have any wound. Why the judge didn't ask all this? Anyways, those are my questions. But still, Okello's being sentenced to death, Okello can appeal, or the president has to sign on that paper. It's not the judge to kill, it's the president to kill. Yes, the president has to sign. And the president can decide to forgive him